Welcome to another episode on my Arduino MegaADK for Android, without Android, but with electronics, fischertechnik motor, fischertechnik phototransistor with lamp. This is the transistor, this is the lamp, as well as some mechatronics with an LDR, light dependent resistor or photoresistor, and a sonar, an active sonar. Last time I was busy with the sonar with not really satisfying results. I changed also something with the transistor, so now that works kind of nicely. And this mechatronics is a bit doubtful because right now it doesn't work, but now it does. And whenever it covers the LDR, this LED should well, be a little bit less in value, although that's hardly visible. If you look very closely, you see it dim a bit. But anyway, it works. This probe is connected to the input to the motor. And the weird thing is that you would expect it to be consistent. But right now the motor stops. And now when you look at the signal, it's quiet, and it is the lowest line on the oscilloscope right here. It's quiet. Now I give it a little bit of help, the chain that is, and you see the signal. Then the pink signal is for the motor with propeller. Then the blue line, the light blue line, is for the phototransistor. So you see it go up and down a little bit, and then yellow one is for the LED, which is giving the signal for the LDR, the photoresistor, and that is also moving just a little bit. Now it is dimmed, and now it's not dimmed anymore. So all in all, it's well, not very much signal, but there is. Going back to the sonar, this gives quite weird signal. So let me move a probe to the sonar, which is right here, and then the signal becomes something like this, and again it is the purple line. And this line is now quite fluctuating. So that is not what you want to see. And even if I do something like this or this, because it is with this minimal reliable distance of 2 centimeters with an angle of 30 degrees in 3D, then you would expect something else. And last time I also had the assumption, the hypothesis that 5 volts would maybe not enough for reliability. Well, as the serial monitor shows, you can't speak of reliability anyway. So with this introduction, let's go to see how software etc. is. Alright, so now the sonar is visible right here. No, right here, right here, right here, and you can't say it's reliable. Now another thing is that its wiring is now from here with this wire only connected here straight to the input. This wire I have taken out because of very strange readings. So what if I put it back in? And one way could be the minus. So right now it's connected to the minus. And what's the difference? Very low values. Well, not even consistent at that. 16, 33, 31. But let's keep my hand over it. Not really. So then let's put it to a plus. Would that give it a difference? And it's the purple line. This is 5 volts. This is 0 volts, or is it 0 volts? Let's enlarge the voltage on this line. So I select purple, which is 3, and then the voltage. Well, that makes a difference. That certainly makes a difference. So if I only look at peaks, this is now, let's say peak is half a volt, and this makes 1 volt. So there is a difference. Let's make it 1 volt. And if I go further, there is definitely a difference if you look at the oscilloscope line 3. So this line. There's hardly any difference anymore. Closer, closer, closer. And here it is a difference. So I'm not quite sure what this difference exactly is. So let's go back to half a volt. And minimum reliable would be 2 volts. But when it's practically touching the sensor, the sonar, then it changes suddenly. Makes no sense to me. How about reliability? Not really. And if I take this one out, so no contact anymore with either ground or voltage, it's the same thing. exactly the same, so it makes no difference. So I think this experiment definitely rules out the sonar as a sonar to be used on this one, on this Arduino. Too bad. I need something else. Another thing I can use, of course, which I've done in the past as well, is using a negative temperature coefficient resistor, NTC in short. And I have little else to do in case where it comes to connecting it. So there's no sonar anymore, although the software says so, but it is now an NTC connected in the same way. Not quite, by the way, because now it's connected here to the minus. So if this should be connected to the minus or the plus, I am not quite sure, but I can easily find out. But when I hold it here under the lens lamp and look at the purple line on the oscilloscope, it doesn't show very much. But when I then once again lower the voltage, oops, it definitely shows a signal difference. And this is just a measurement sensor. So let's now see how it works when it is connected to the plus. Just like that. And then it's quite erratic. Oops, that goes from the plus. That's not nice. This should be just in it. And then of course the value should be much higher, like 5 volts. This is not going very well right now. Just connecting it. What's the difference? Like this. Why should be touching? Alright. No difference. So back to connecting it to ground. And then I will have to change the value again. By now to 1 volt, and there you can see already some difference. So this is much better, and it is a generic component, not necessarily from fischertechnik, but it is delivered with it. Can I put it into this? Yes, I can put it in the socket. What does touching my finger say? Oh, that's remarkable. All signals are apparently influenced, including this one. Everything is influenced by this motor in rhythm of signaling. And that's a bit weird. If you look at the signal, you can clearly see some signal change. So what happens if I take this out? If I take the connector out of the motor, then what? It's still there. It definitely is there. Yes, and the chain is running now again, but where it comes to the NTC, oh, when I don't put the NTC in it, the signal is still measuring, and that's a bit weird. So can I put more light? Yes. So it's still measuring from the probe, measuring the NTC output, not holding it anywhere. Well, I can put it somewhere in the shade, but look at the signal. And then more specific, this signal. How can this be? That's weird. Really strange. It should not act, in my opinion. So why does it do it? Can't explain it right now. Well, I checked out for the real connection for the NTC, which is actually correct. One part is input and one part is actually mass. But how is it programmed? So let's go find out in that way. It's analog read, that is correct. And well, this is now NTC. And it's still analog. So in that sense, there's nothing wrong. So where does it go from there? From here? It's still analog. Is there some kind of calculation to change value or to read an actual value? Well, there certainly will be, but it really doesn't change the fact that with some values, this is also a changing value. Well, there is nothing happening. This one is still, no, this one is now still standing mechatronics, so let's have it move. And hopefully it keeps moving now. And there you see it, well, barely moving this line. This one is light blue, which is the voltage, which is still the transistor. And it moves very little. This one is still the motor, so that moves. But this one moves as well, and that is not correct. Let's upload first, not that it matters, but you never know. Oh wait, I should be selecting the correct board, of course. And then, yeah, that one is done. So let's go do this. Yeah, and MegaADK and Mega2560 are basically the same, but still it's the MegaADK. So let's check for the output. It should say NTC now, yeah. What happens with the value when I grab and touch it? Well, nothing really. Oh, that's strange. The value changes to 29, then 28 again, but since the purple probe, which gives this one, where comes the up and down from? Where does it come from? It doesn't make sense, because doing this, putting it and holding it under the lamp, has exactly the same effect as me doing this. But that's not quite as I expected. So it's wired correctly, but the rest I have my doubts. What I can also do, of course, is put the propeller against it and see whatever happens then. Because the original example with NTC and the propeller is also with a lens lamp. So let's see how that works out. Alright, so when we look at the NTC, just holding here, and we look at the purple line, and it goes up and down with how the motor is responding. Is there any change when I put the motor in front of it? Not really. How about the value? Says 25 against, oh, and 24. It gets lower, stays low. So when I put it right under the lamp, what does it do? 30. And 23. But where's the 30 gone? 26. Where's the 30 gone? Okay, let me change the value once again. Oh, wrong way. Well, ignore the sawtooth idea. What does it do without? Half a millisecond now. But it's a strange signal. And the lamp. Well, the lamp doesn't burn constantly. And the propeller is blowing constantly in the direction of the lamp and the NTC. But why does it have an influence in the shape of this propeller? That is something I don't get. It shouldn't be, and yet it is. Perhaps I should take a look at the schematics. Those I have as well right here. And when I look at the schematics, I see here the lamp, and where is the sonar? Here. Well, the sonar is gone. Let's forget about that one. And this is voltage. No, this is no longer valid. This one should be connected to ground, which means here. This one is gone. This one is gone. Oops. On the other hand, do I have an NTC component? Yes, I do. So this one goes, this one goes, this one goes, this one goes. Let's make it like this. And right. And like this. Or whichever, no, I make it NTC. R indicates it is a resistor, but this way it's more appropriate. Anyway, that is for this one. So this one should be influenced by the resistor or by the lens lamp, which also influences the phototransistor. But this one is in a loose wire, not connected to anything stably. It's also being held in front of the, where's that motor? Here with propeller. So this one, oops. So this phototransistor, this propeller, lens lamp and the NTC form some kind of combination now. And still, it makes no sense to me. Last part for this episode. Where are we now? Well, this one is running, kind of. Then the NTC that has replaced the sonar, and still unclear whatever it takes and does. Anyway, holding it under the lamp, and let me move the lamp a bit, the lighting more appropriately. So when we look at the oscilloscope, this is what we see. So how come? And this is just whatever I do. holding it for the propeller. Nah, makes no sense yet. Anyway, that is about it. So this combination is still worth investigating, because an NTC should respond normally and not the way it does now. For now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Give a comment. You can also follow me on Twitter. If you do, please retweet, like and leave a comment. You can also follow me on Instagram. Please like and leave a comment. Please donate to keep videos coming to you. You can also become a patron and have your name mentioned on my website and or with my videos, and with my videos depending on the pledge you make. And this is going to be continued. For now, thanks for watching. Bye bye.